Halloween
Forever.
Hi, boys and ghouls. It is all about the Glenjamins today. Welcome to another fucking Minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Meg.
I'm Steve.
And you did this, Steve.
Yes.
You fucker. You did it, you fucker.
Yes.
He immediately got on and was like, this is a terrible movie. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Truth.
We have been submitted to, I would go as far as to say, the cruelest of revenge films. In the pretty much we're wrapping up year one of the podcast. I can't imagine.
Brian, I'm going to take a step back and say I don't think this is actually the worst of them.
What's worse than this?
I mean, Uninvited.
Oh, fuck off.
Nah,
Uninvited
not
was
even.
100 times better.
No,
I
I actually like kind of laughed through this movie, you know, so I had a little bit of fun with it.
Meg, don't
Yeah.
steal my thunder. This hurts me as well. You're
Yeah.
telling Brian's the worst. You're telling me that I didn't pick the worst. That I didn't do my due diligence.
You know what? I'm here to ruin people's day and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum.
Well, so guys, we're burying the lead here. We're talking about the directorial debut of one Mr. Glenn Danzig and his holy piece of shit, Verotika, from 2019, 2020?
That's what it says, 2019.
You know what sucks
2019.
is how new it is. You know what I mean? It sucks that it's that new.
You know what I think sucks worse? That it exists. I thought this movie was, yes, there was a couple of parts that were like, oh boy, that's so fucking bad. It's like kind of makes you like smirk or perhaps a light chuckle. But aside from, nipple eyes, there was nothing fucking funny about this movie. It just was a slog, an absolute piece of shit, inept in every imaginable way. I am convinced.
Nothing funny? There's a lot of funny in this
There's
movie.
a lot of funny.
It's funny. It's not like, haha, that's funny. A cat came out of another cat's mouth. It's like, what the flying fuck did they think they were doing with this funny?
I almost thought it was just going to be like horror porn. And I was like, I'm not watching this on Pornhub right now.
But it's not funny like suburban Sasquatch funny.
No.
It's like I couldn't stop thinking of Glenn Danzig's stupid face, like just like grinning to himself, going like, "Oh man, I'm making
this
a
is so
good
good.
movie." Yeah, like I'm mad that he thought this was good. You know what I mean?
I love it because he thought it was good. This movie answers the question, what if Clive Barker was also the low IQ mechanic who's always touching himself and like talking about pussy?
What if Clive Barker was Glenn Danzig? Yeah, so if you don't know who Glenn Danzig is, very low likelihood that that's the case. But if you do not, listen, I was a diehard Misfits fan back in the day. In my skateboarding days, especially as a young impressionable teen, I loved me some Misfits.
Yeah, but you were
I
probably a
still
Michael
love me some
Graves
Misfits.
fan, Misfits. You know what I mean?
No, I was,
you weren't?
No, I
Okay.
was very anti Michael Graves.
Wow.
Also,
Wow.
Michael Graves, I don't know if you guys are aware, is like a super hardcore alt-right country singer now.
Oh, no, that's news. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he go full alt-right? Because he was like strong libertarian for a long time, and then because like most of the guys in the Misfits, like the Only Brothers, are also pretty libertarian as well.
Yeah, I mean the whole band. Listen, this has been established in the past. I'm pretty sure to answer your first question, I'm pretty sure Michael Graves went full alt-right. He doesn't go by Michael Graves anymore. I don't think so. Because that's obviously not his real name.
His name's Mike, and then he just has an American flag as his last name.
Yeah, his last name is Michael. Don't tread on me. American flag.
It's me, Michael Gadsden.
His name is Michael Don't step on Sneck.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see how many Misfits lyrics I can work into this episode.
Yeah, I used to know. I mean, I still listen to the Misfits, specifically, like I said, Danzig era Misfits. Like, I do have an appreciation for them. I'm sure the reason why I really loved them at the time was because when I first started playing guitar, I picked up a guitar for the first time, could immediately play every Misfits song because they're the most simplistic, horrible, musically songs ever. But yeah, so Glenn Danzig was the original singer and front man and really along with Doyle and Jerry Only, the long time, that was the lineup. They always had rotating drummers. They had Robo. They had these guys, rotating drummers. But he was the front man for the Misfits forever. And then he started, Sam Hain and Danzig, just Danzig and Danzig 666 and Danzig. I don't know. There's like 9 different incarnations of his various bands, but between the Misfits and Sam Hain, I definitely got down with him, and I do to a certain extent still enjoy me some Glenn Danzig, but he is known to be an absolute insufferable douchebag, as pretty most of the band.
He's the embodiment of what an ego looks like. Like if you were to put it in a body form, like he would be that. Yes,
because he's like, so he's this short little like muscly, Italian kid from New Jersey. They are, but he's short, so he really acts out.
Yeah, he's the personification of Gothic Napoleon complex.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
It's not a vibe I would actually, I would wear. I'm definitely into this like Western goth thing, but Napoleon goth, no, not so much.
Yeah. He. Listen, I think a lot of folks who are punk genre fans probably have a complex relationship with Glenn Danzig, or he has become somewhat of a meme in a lot of ways as well. We pretty regularly quote his lines from when he was in Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that sort of thing. He's kind of his own walking meme at this point. But this is his first directorial debut. Once again, the movie is called Verotika. It is, I have to describe it as an anthology film because it was intended to be an anthology film. But at least one, if not 2 of the segments in the anthology aren't stories. Like there's no story to it at all. Like the script and the dialogue and almost every aspect of it, we'll go through it in a little more detail, in my eyes is beyond inept.
And that's what I'm saying. This is like horror porn. It's like they walk in and be like, "Ooh, you're a scary man."
Well, that's the thing. It's
that's
like
how it felt so just like forced. And I'm with you.
I use this phrase with Suburban Sasquatch, and I'll use it again. Every frame a mistake.
It really is. He also did this thing in this one where he was trying to be like, it really had so many like similarities with what's the fucking other one you made us watch, Steve, where the musician made a movie? Cradle of Fear, with fucking Danny Filth or whatever his name is. It felt like that in a little bit too.
Yeah, that movie looks like fucking Creepshow next to this.
I know. Yeah,
the moral of the story is that musicians need to stop making movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dave Grohl's new horror movie or whatever.
Yeah, I need to watch that too.
But if this is any indication, we're in for a treat. It is. He definitely was trying to go for this kind of edgelord. Like, I think it even was described as like an erotic horror anthology, and like this movie was one of the least erotic movies I've ever like. It was attempting to be erotic, but as far as being like actually, sexy in any manner or form, it is right about on par with like The Land Before Time in terms of how horny it made me. It really and truly was not erotic. I mean, it had erotic themes,
right?
Let's put it that way, but it couldn't have been less sexual to me. Like, it just was a cringe fest from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That's
sorry.
again,
I had to get that off my chest, guys. I'm sorry. I like my
You
microphone is
things.
covered in spit because I just like had to erupt my hatred for this movie as soon as I got on the mic here. Before we do that, guys, let's talk about beers. Do we have some beers? I have a beer. I'm pouring it right now.
Well, then go for it.
Okay. I am pouring, and again, I actually alluded to this before we got on the mics here. I'm fairly sure this is old. I don't know I did not purchase this beer. It showed up in my beer fridge. It is called Square Dancing. It is a dark cream ale, aka Kentucky Common, from Necromancer Brewing here in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's an interesting marketing tactic to just show up at someone's house and put a beer in their fridge.
I know, it's mysterious at the very least. I'm not sure who brought it over. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a code date on it, but it says Resurrection #1, which makes me feel this is their first batch, and they've been open for like a year at least now, I think. So this may be a little bit old, but...
Yeah, I don't remember that beer coming back, but I remember it coming out around the same time as Monday's Brewing putting out their Kentucky Common.
Yeah.
And like I had that one. But yeah, so if it came out at that same time, that's old.
This is a disaster. And I don't think it's the beer's fault. I think it's just very, very old. And I saw it in there, and I have a couple other Necromancer beers in there. So I grabbed it, thinking it was something else, got it up here to the old Cryptor Kel, looked at it, was like, oh, this isn't the beer I thought it was. Somebody must have left this in my house. And then I looked at the batch number and I was like, okay, this is very old. And it is, in fact, fucking disgusting. But I think that's because it's like 18 months old. So not necessarily any indication of quality of the beer. It's just fucking old. So
no, I've had some very good beers from them, but they were all within time.
Their stuff. Yeah. This is ancient, and that's my fault. And you know what? It really, in a lot of ways, is indicative of my entire experience with this movie as well. I really hated it from beginning to end, and I felt bad about myself for like submitting myself to it. Although Steve is ultimately responsible.
Yes, good. Good.
You got one of us.
This is really the first movie, I feel like, maybe with the exception of Cradle of Fear, that it felt like a punishment to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
It really felt it. I felt it deep in my loins. All right. What are you guys drinking?
May I rule for 1,000 years of darkness.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
I never want you to win again. But I mean, I told him when I got on, I was like, I, again, had fun with it. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it. And I was like, what I'm going to do, though, is tell people that it's really good and get people to watch it. But not have them listen to this episode and then laugh behind their back. That's my plan.
That's how you plan to use this movie to end friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's called a bridge burner.
Yeah. It really is. That's a good category for this motherfucker to fall into.
Yeah. I'm up at my parents' house in New York right now, so I actually picked up Ellicottville Brewing Company's Mo Master. It's a summer hoppy IPA, which it's interesting because when I worked for Southern Tier and Ellicottville contracted, it was more of like literally they wanted to call it a lawnmower beer, and it was like much lighter. But I think if they're calling this some sort of IPA, it is the lightest flavor-wise IPA I've ever had, which it's not a bad thing. It's nice, actually. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Is it one of those things where they just like had a Kolsch or a blonde ale with American hops, and they were like, I bet if we call it an IPA, sales will go up 40%. And then they just did that.
Probably. I also like that they put like warm weather beer on it, like it's a category, and I wouldn't mind that being a category for something.
I like that. I mean, I like occasion more than just calling every single thing an IPA. There's a the most obvious story that I think is when Sierra Nevada Celebration, it used to just be called Celebration Ale. Then they changed it to Celebration like fresh hop IPA.
Right.
And all of a sudden it just like experienced this big resurgence. Not that it ever went anywhere, but I feel like people, immediately started paying way more attention to it the second you call it an IPA. So I've taken to just anything that I do, just calling it an IPA.
Well, I mean,
Like,
you
if I
see in the
send, like,
market
a
now, like you've seen
Yeah.
all those like milkshake IPAs. I'm like, those are not IPAs.
Yeah, I like to, like, if I have a really important email that I'm sending, like I'll click the high importance thing, but I'll also just put in the heading, this is an IPA.
Right.
And then people pay more attention to it.
Sure. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, next time you make Sloppy Joes, just be
Yeah.
like, hey kids, hot Sloppy Joe IPA is ready. And then your kids
They're
will be
gonna
like,
be
oh,
like,
fuck,
"Ooh."
IPA.
They're going to be like, here's $23.99.
Brian,
Yeah.
I think you need to write a business book at this point.
Yeah.
I think because I would
Yeah.
definitely take that advice and try it, and it would probably work.
Yeah, I actually already started it. The book is entitled Business.
Business.
But it's BIZNAZ, like
Yeah,
business.
business. It's just me on a boat, like that meme, like flying on a speedboat, holding up a briefcase. It's just called Business. Oh, fuck.
But then at that point, you have to put it has to be Business IPA.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Oh
Call
my
the book an
God.
IPA.
Yeah.
Oh my!
This is my business IPA. And people are like, oh shit, IPA.
That is
My
obnoxious.
business IPA. It's just a book.
And then when
My
you write
fir-
the follow up, you add fresh IPA to it.
I think you
Oh,
should
yeah,
bring
yeah,
that
yeah,
idea
yeah.
to Sly Fox.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, we'll do that.
But
I'll just have,
collaborate
like,
with like some sort of like other entrepreneur,
Yeah, like Ja
like
Rule.
Jay-Z. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay-Z.
I
yeah,
like
that's
actually
maybe
Ja
better than
Rule better for this.
I picked Ja Rule for some reason. You're
You're like, who's the best businessman I know? Ja Rule. Yeah. Yeah, Brian.
I
Okay.
just thought about Firefest. That's all. I just immediately went to Firefest in my brain.
See, that's the thing. He's got a lot of baggage to him. So I think you need to reach out to somebody we haven't heard from in a while, like Chameleon
Yeah.
Air. So,
Yeah. Millionaire. I forgot about that fucking guy. See what he's up to. See what Birdman's doing,
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that.
hell yeah.
What do you got, Steve? I see a picture behind you.
Yes, I changed my background to reflect because it always doesn't show up on the webcam. But
I'm just so curious what your background actually looks like.
it's just a fucking shitty, boring office with like white walls.
Okay, whatever.
It's not.
They're padded. That's why you don't want us to see it.
Sure, yeah. I don't want people to see how I live.
There's just scrawlings and feces and blood all over the wall.
No doo-doo.
It's his
all-
murder room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a murder room?
It's my angry room. Charlie's angry room.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking the 11th hour smoked Hellas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
I had that on the beer barge.
yeah.
Nice.
I said it last week on Hop Nation USA, but this beer fucks.
Yeah. I got to
Cool.
get me some. I texted Justin 11th hour very angrily and said, you fucking guys made a smoked Hellas. You literally didn't even text me. Like, you didn't text me. You didn't say anything. You didn't send a letter. Didn't do anything.
I like how you perceive that they're like they
It's
they
a
care.
slight. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows that I like smoked beers. Keep me in the loop.
You'll
I
like
have to
this
go
one.
Get some.
I think
Yeah.
it's a little harsher on the smoke than the Schlenkerla one, the Schlenkerla Hellas.
Mhm.
But it has like a nice bacony nose to it, but it's pretty just smoky, and then a nice snappy beer. So
Ooh, little crispy. Yeah, I need to go get some of those. I do love that people are making smoked Hellas again this year. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. We're coming back with it. I saw Notch made theirs again, which I still have to order. And I'm
If you
sitting
do
here-
put in an order, hit me up.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I do need to do that. I've been meaning to do that for a while. All right. So we've got through beerses. What we're going to do something a little different for what is essentially going to be our 1 year anniversary episode. Believe it or not, we've been doing this sumbitch for a year. And what we're going to do is we have keeped track of all of the showdown topics that the wheel selected for us, but did not win. So we didn't throw those back into the mix because we didn't want the same ones to keep coming up on the wheel, but we did keep them on a separate list. So each one of us are going to pick a topic that came up on the wheel but did not get selected for one of our monthly showdown episodes. And then we're going to put those 3 out there to a vote. So one of those threes is, I can't fucking talk today. One of those 3 are going to be our 1-year anniversary episode. And then once we kind of kick off the new year, we'll introduce those other ones back into the mix and give them a fair shot on the good old wheel of wheels. So that being said, Meg, of the topics that were up for a vote but did not win in 2021 into the early part of 2022 in our first year, which is the one you want to do?
So when I was in high school, I stayed in every night. Again, gonna add Misfits lyrics to everything I can today. But I literally did. I had no friends. I was like, just a loser. It's fine. But like part of my resurgence of getting into horror was like watching on USA Chucky, like was specifically the Bride of Chucky when I was in high school and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with the Chucky franchise. We're gonna choose films from that, or that's my vote.
Child's Play, Chucky, Bride of Chucky, all things Chucky and Child's Play is on the board. Gotcha. Steve, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with Monsters of the Deep. I think that's such a wide breadth of films. Like, and you know, it's summertime and people like going swimming, and you know, what's more terrifying?
Terrorize. Yeah, I was like, you to terrorize everyone.
What's worse than getting attacked by something from the deep? Why you swimming?
Whether it's a shark or a squid or a damn humanoid
or a sharktopus
or a sharktopus or a sharknado or Santa Jaws. All I'm saying is there's lots of things in the water that can fuck you up. I like that one. I am going to go, maybe no surprise here. There were some very Halloween-centric topics, which I think I would like to wait until, we get a little tiny bit closer to spooky season. But one that I was rooting heavily for when it popped up quite a while back is Big Top Horror, guys. I'm talking clown shit, circuses, carnivals, anything that touches that world. Listen, I'm going hard trying to discuss Killer Clouds from Outer Space because it's a fucking bomb. I'm not hiding what I'm trying to accomplish here.
Right. Are things like Terrifier on? Because it's just a clown, but like it's mostly warehouses and shit.
True, but like I would think Terrifier. The one image you think of with Terrifier is Art the Clown, right? Mm-hmm. Big Top Horror, he's a damn clown. I think that's pretty safe to say.
So I guess my one question too, with your topic is, because I think it's like a good idea, just like anything that's kind of like clown oriented, even if it's not necessarily in a circus, though I'm sure there's good ones there. Mm-hmm. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, are you going to try to stay away from that just because it has more of a space vibe, or is that still on the table?
Nope. It is very, literally their damn spaceship is a big top 10.
Yeah.
So I'm going for that one. I would say something like, well, I just said Humanoids from the Deep. There is probably the most memorable scene, or one of the 2 or 3 most memorable scenes in that does happen at a fair or a carnival. Mm-hmm. But probably would be a stretch. Or let's see here. What's another example? Even like Lost Boys.
Yeah, because like the threat isn't associated with carnivals.
Correct.
Like if you can find a movie that's like called Ringmaster, and he's whipping people and trying to shoo them with chairs or whatever. Like I don't know, but
$1 million idea.
Yeah, but just having vampires in a circus isn't the best.
Although Vampire Circus is in fact a movie,
right? So
are they all in cages or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Vampire Circus is a movie. It's an old one, and I'm pretty sure they are like vampires in a traveling carnival. So that feels appropriate. But
what about Kiss fights the Phantom of the Park?
Yeah, see, that's a great example of one that probably is a bit of a stretch.
Because they're fucking clowns, but
I know they are. I know that Kiss are technically clowns. Yeah, so listen, if we need to get into the nitty-gritty of it, here would be my suggestion. If you got to think that hard about it, you're probably barking up the wrong tree. If you're like, well, in the background of that one scene in The Lost Boys, you do see a Ferris wheel on the boardwalk. No, that's probably you're probably a recipe for disaster. In any case, here's what we're going to have and we'll see this here in the coming days on the social medias. If you haven't already and you do want to help us vote on these things, once again, we're going to be voting on Big Top Horror, Child's Play / Chucky franchise, and Monsters from the Deep. Follow us over on our social medias. Basically, type in Halloween is Forever on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and we'll pop up. But what we do is once a month, we pick these topics, then we give them to our social media friends and listeners. They pick them, they vote on them and pick which one we are going to do. We each pick a movie that's associated with that topic. We argue about it. We vote on it. One person takes home the fucking belt for the month. So that's kind of how it works. But in the, if you just want to see some spooky shit too, on the internets, go ahead and give us a follow as well. We very much appreciate it. Now, with all the fun stuff out of the way, let's get into this holy piece of fucking garbage. This movie sucks shit, Steve.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce it? Would you like to talk about it?
Yes.
All right.
Let's talk about auteurism. And that is the commonality that emerged in the 70s, where a lot of filmmakers, they stopped being beholden to studios per se and were allowed to explore the idea of being in control of everything. They were able to direct and write and edit and serve as their own cinematographers. And Glenn Danzig is holding up that tradition that was introduced by Steven Spielberg and carried by Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith. And Glenn Danzig carries that on into 2019. In a world where we have so many Marvel Disney properties that are just made by committee, Glenn Danzig dares to be the master of his own ship.
Where eagles dare.
I
think that he likes to... Listen, this is a singular image, the singular, viewpoint of Glenn Danzig. Yes. I will agree with you, but
Glenn Danzig is stupid.
Danzig has stupid goggles on because he's a fucking moron and sucks at all these things.
Touching on his Napoleon complex we talked about, I'm like, I would put money that he thinks he's better than all those guys. That you mentioned.
I guarantee
for sure,
you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Yeah, he
Spielberg can do it. I can do it.
So somebody commented on our Instagram that they went to the premiere of this movie and he was surprised everybody was laughing at the movie.
Oh God!
Which if you read the book by Greg Sestero about the production of The Room, Tommy Wiseau had the exact same reaction to the premiere of The Room.
Yeah,
he didn't understand why people were laughing at it. And it's because you made a bad movie, sir. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I have a note about this in here. I forget who mentioned it, but yeah, they basically said we'll get to it because it's in my notes here somewhere. But yeah, basically went to the premiere and he actually kind of admitted to the audience that he was surprised that people were laughing.
Yeah. So a little background to this, which was I was surprised to kind of discover. This is a comic book film.
Yeah, it's part of his graphic. He's a graphic novel series or something.
That honestly would probably makes even more sense in a way.
Mm-hmm. Since the 90s, he's been producing Verotika comics, and it's supposed to be a portmanteau of violent and erotic. Yeah, which is not how that works.
Yeah.
I just put a V on front of erotic. That makes it violent erotic. Why don't you get it?
Yeah.
It's you ever hear of the lost books of the Bible?
It kind of reminds me of people trying to name bands when they're in high school and they're just trying way too hard to make it sound cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then just put a number on the end.
Right. Well, Danzig.
That's your screen name.
Yeah. Danzig's so stupid and full of himself, he just named his band Danzig.
Yeah.
He's not good at any of this. So
no.
The film is based on some of the comics that he made. And all of the comics are comics that he's written and then somebody else puts art to. the art actually isn't terrible in the comics. Like the art is.
No, I googled it. It looks pretty. Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I read a couple of them in preparation for this. All of the comics have the exact same problem as the film, in that they're written by Glenn Danzig, and like he doesn't know how to write a story. All of his characters are Mary Sue's, and that they have infinite power and they always win, and there was like barely any conflict.
I mean, the last of these three, we'll get to it. There was no conflict.
There was no
story.
story.
Nothing happened.
He didn't write shit
Nothing
for
happened.
that. The last one is basically vignettes of his interpretation of the Elizabeth Bathory myth. You know, that's all it is.
Do you think that he was like, listen, I can write 1 minute and 40-second punk songs. I could probably write a movie. And then, do you
but
think
only anthologies, like 20-minute movies.
Do you think the first draft of his script was just like, oh, because that's what 90% of Misfits lyrics are.
Right. He like wrote one good song in his entire life, and it was Bullet. And then every other song is just like pretty, like they're simplistic. You know,
listen, Hybrid Moments, that whole album rules. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how much of that he wrote the lyrics for. I think he was kind of the chief songwriter. So listen, he read some good, in the late 70s, early 80s, he did like 8 good 1 minute and 30-second songs.
Right. But and that's the thing,
made like a 40-year career out of it, 50-year career out of it.
He'll never be able to write a 6-minute Edmund Fitzgerald that tells a story. He can write, you got some fucking attitude, and that's about it. Like, because that's what his dumb brain can do.
Yeah.
And it perfectly translates to these comic and this movie, and that he doesn't know how to write anything like beyond.
Well, what he did was he watched movies, and then he just like wrote a couple lines that could have been in that movie. Like he just watched Astro Zombies and was like, this is like pretty fucking
what I
brutal,
feel,
dude.
I feel like if you look at his face though, like your instant reaction to looking at his face would be that he doesn't have anything going on in his brain. He's like got this like nice buff body, and then he just like looks, and you're just like, I think everything, there's nothing up there. And that's where all the woes come from. That was the story of the woe.
That's where the woes come from.
I'm fairly sure we are all going to be murdered by Glenn Danzig after this episode. Like
he's actually protected by the CIA or something.
He's just gonna put a bunch of like fucking voodoo dolls together.
He is 5'2" and I am 6'6". I dare him to try.
He's my height too. Oh my gosh.
Very short. He's a very short gentleman.
Yeah.
Ooh. I could probably take him then.
I've seen him live at Bonnaroo in the last 10 years, so yeah, I know exactly how big he is.
He played at Bonnaroo?
But you didn't say if you think I could take him. Like, totally. Fight him.
Oh, you could take him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're younger than him. Like, you have speed and agility.
Agile. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but I got muscle, too. I'm a pretty strong bitch,
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely take him. I have no doubt
this
in that.
Just devolved into, do you think you could beat up Glenn Danzig?
Yeah. And, like, the answer is almost always yes. Like, unless it's like a child.
Yeah.
Like, maybe your kids would have trouble if they couldn't work together, Brian, but that's about it.
What about Glenn Danzig versus Danny Filth?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Danny Filth, like, I don't think Danny Filth, he's not as buff, but he's younger. No. So,
yeah.
I could probably I could probably arm wrestle Danny Filth.
That feels likely. He's very wafy.
Yeah, he's a waifish dude. I only give Danny Filth the edge in the fight with Danzig because Danny Filth is always wearing those gothic claws. So
that's what I say. And also, I feel like Danny Filth is the kind of guy who would bite you.
Right? Yeah.
I actually think underneath the gloves, he's actually has eels for fingers.
Possible.
That's possible.
Possible. And I don't know how much of a soccer fan he is, but he is British. So, like, there might be some general hooliganism in him. So
yeah, they'll stab you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those Brits, they act like they're all prim and proper. No. They go straight for stabbing.
Stabbing, biting, gouge your eyes. Like they fight dirty. They don't. Yeah. They're trash.
They're trash.
So let's get into the movie.
I think this is more fun.
It's fun. It's fun, but I mean,
British people are trash. I would beat Glenn Danzig's ass. It's just the shit talk episode.
Yeah.
We should have like a fuck, marry, kill episode with all of these movies.
Glenn
with the movie
Danzig,
themselves.
It's Glenn Danzig. It's Danny Filth, and who's the third for the fuck, marry, kill?
Someone I would actually want to marry, please.
I mean,
wait, which one of those do you want to fuck? You're like, well, of Glenn Danzig and Danny Filth.
Okay,
who am I going to marry?
Okay,
I mean,
I'm actually going to go with Danzig.
Yeah.
Because for as much of an ego, there has to be something else going on there, you know?
You think so? I bet
think
it's
so.
not. I feel like at least, I mean, honestly, if you think about the two movies, they definitely both tried to go into like the erotic, kind of dark eroticism.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like goth shit. I think that's like the instant thought when you think of it. It's like with sexualization, when it comes to goth.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Cradle of Fear was a sexier movie. I know that's hard to say, but it kind of was.
There was some a little bit of sexy moments, like when the women are kissing. Like, that's better.
Well, here's the thing about Danzig's, and this is why it made it very hard for any aspect of it to feel sexy at all, is because almost all the women in the movie, it felt like they were there against their will.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
nobody
in the
wanted to be
Danzig
there.
Movie. It felt like they were like, they had been like human trafficked to there. Like, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
I literally thought when I saw some of them that they were porn stars. Like, and if
a lot of them are.
Steve, I was going to say, Steve, you could probably confirm that, yeah.
What?
Well, no. I mean, you did the research. I didn't fucking look.
Because of how much you love Eastern European porn.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Fine, take it however you want.
That's how we do it. Meg, you love Child's Play. Steve, you love Eastern European porn. Like, that's just who we are.
Please don't say Child's Play and that I like it.
Yeah,
like
you love
that
Child's
ever
Play.
again.
Like, that's your kink.
Don't make me creepy right now.
And Steve loves Eastern European porn. Like, that's how it works.
more normal.
Yeah.
So I'll say, like, you get the cast list up front in the credits. And, like, these credits are wild. They're all over the place. Like, they last for 5 minutes, and they're talking about, like...
Oh, my God, that intro. The music.
Yeah, I
like,
thought
I'd
everything
rather
is
have my
so terrible.
eyes gouged out than watch that fucking intro again.
Everything's fucking terrible in this movie. But you get the list of credits, and, like, I think the only one I recognized was Caden Cross. She's pretty well known as an adult performer. And then, like, you get a whole bunch of other names, and, like, one of them is, like, Kansas Bowling. Like,
Kansas Bowling?
That's not a real name.
Yeah, that's her name. Like,
boy.
Never heard of
That's
it.
her porn name.
I think there's a lot of people in here that even, like, who don't use their real names, who are, like, adult performers or whatever, that used an alias of their alias, like, on top of their alias.
Yeah.
Just to give themselves at least a couple degrees of separation from, being in this piece of shit.
Either degrees of separation, or it was their hope that they'll hit with that. Because there's another one. I think her name was Felicity Feline. Like...
What if we
Meow
found
is
out
all I have to say.
What if we learned that was actually like her birth certificate, like the name her
You can
parents
change
gave her?
it these days. It might be that way.
Like, no, but I mean, like, she was born.
I know what you're saying.
Felicity Feline. Yeah.
Her parents were the felines, and then her parents were
Mr. and Mrs. Feline. Yeah.
Felicity. It kind of sounds like Stanley-ish.
Yeah. We like alliteration in our family. The whole time I'm watching this, like, honestly, 5 minutes in, and I wrote down the note, doesn't Danzig have more money than this? Like,
No, he does not.
apparently not. I guess I assumed he was like a very wealthy guy. He's been in his music career for like 50 years. Like, people know who he is.
Yeah. He has more money. I think he just doesn't have the talent, because there is, like, strange amounts of money you see thrown about. Like, in the first story, which is Dejet and the albino spider, which makes no sense. And
no, it was silver. It wasn't even albino. It was like Silver Surfer spider.
Yeah. Like, what made him a spider? Nobody knows. But there's a scene where Dejet goes into a movie theater and it's like obviously a set. So like he had money to rent a big giant set, a street set, to film her going in, and then rented some sort of theater. And
you wonder though if it was a situation where like one of the that was the one where they're all doing the really awful French accents, right? And like you wonder if one of the performers just happened to also be in a stage show, you know what I mean? And they were able to go get that one like singular shot, because it really was just one little small location, right? But oh boy, even just starting that one, like before the whole thing happens with even before you catch wind of the eyeball nipples, that has got to probably, like, this needs to be put to writing somewhere. I think that wins the award for least erotic blowjob in history.
Yes.
Like, it just, everything about it was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
But then
Nothing
he told her
about
to
it's
stop
good.
too. So I was like, yeah, this is just doesn't like, but we already talked about this before we started recording. I was like, this movie, this scene, there's so many things that just don't make sense. Like nothing was done with those eyeball nipples either.
No, that, and even when, and Kate was watching this with me, and she lasted about 15 minutes and then just started playing games on her phone.
Sure. But
we were watching at the beginning, and this was a quote from her. After that, she kind of, comes out, and then they start like making out or whatever. And they're all confused about how foreplay works, but she goes like, because you kind of see like the top of her head, like she's supposed to be going down on him. And then you come up and his pants are on. She goes, where does Dick go? Did he just have it poked out of his fly? Like what is happening? Yeah. It was just, he just put it away. He was like, that good enough. Let's make out.
He just has a tiny little robin egg, and she just
robin egg.
It booped right on in.
Booped right back in.
I guess so.
And it's like that's the whole thing of these stories. They're so baffling in that. So it starts with her blowing the guy, and then they start making out, and then he tries to take her shirt off, and she doesn't want that because she has nipple eyes. Why she has nipple eyes, we don't know. But if you're a person with nipple eyes and you don't want people to see your nipple eyes.
Yeah, so let's be clear. Not nipple. It's eye nipples.
Eye nipples. Yeah.
Nipple eyes would be you have nipples for eyes. She has eyeballs for nipples.
Steve,
My
get your
bad.
shit together.
My bad.
I know you're not a doctor, Steve, but I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. No.
I like how that's a doctor term too, guys. Let's be real. We read that in medical school.
Guys, I was pre-med.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
No, I wasn't.
It was okay. Her eye nipples. If you're a person with eye nipples, why wouldn't you put like pasties over them?
Or just wear a couple layers.
Yeah.
She's just wearing like a thin tank top, and then she has these monstrous boobs with a thin tank top, and then she's like, "Oh no, he wants to see my boobs. Why do guys always want to see my boobs when we have sex?"
I know.
Like she's unprepared, and because later on she goes like, "It happened again," and it's like,
right?
What?
It's happened previously that somebody wanted to see your giant boobs. Like it's
surprise.
Yeah. It always happens. I start blowing a guy in my thin tank top, and then he wants to see my boobs like we're dating or something. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Put a layer on,
No.
Put the old prison armor on.
Put
duct
your
tape some
grandma's
phone
sweater
books.
on, guys.
And then he leaves, which caused her eye nipples to cry, and somehow that turns a spider into a monster.
Yeah.
Into Goro from the Mortal Kombat film.
It is Goro, and I wrote that down as well.
Yeah.
I said mine were her tits are crying. It landed on a silver spider, turns into Goro, but Goro from Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the least intimidating thing, and it's just because again Danzig did the cinematography, so he has no idea how to use shadows to obscure and hide all the wrong and broken things about his effect. It's terrible.
It's all on full display.
Yeah.
Like it might as well be in like fluorescent office lighting.
Yeah.
Like you can just see everything.
And I'm not trying to like disparage like the looks of the women, but like he does some terrible close-up work on them that does not hide like any of their, like, you can just tell they have makeup caked on and is hiding like a lot of flaws, and like he doesn't try to like soften that at all, like with because the lighting is so harsh. It's all on full display, and it's like, I'm sorry, he's not making you look good at all. I'm sorry.
Every single thing he does, is just like, if he would have done no lighting, I feel like it would have been more successful.
Guys, I have something to say. I was going to add though, like with the cinematography, was that like there's so many, it like felt so awkward, like even just talking about those like close-ups, but also even scenes lasting longer. Like you just need to cut that 5 to 10 seconds quicker because they're clearly just waiting for you to cut the scene. And then also the weird zooms in and out. I was just like, no, like this is not how cinematography works. Like I don't do films to work, but I know enough to know that that's not what you do.
Oh yeah.
Well, everything was just maximum padding too. Like he really wanted to make this feature length, and so there are so many shots that are like, that was 4 times longer than it should have been.
And that's what happens when you find out your script has no stories. Like you have to just sit on shots for, minutes at a time. There's one in this one that we're talking about right now with the jet and the Spider-Man. And at the end, the cops figure out somehow. I don't know. The cops are amazing in this movie. They just figure things out.
They just somehow know how to do a job. At least in the first one. I do have other comments for the other ones, but the first one, they're just like, yes, we're gonna be restraint here now and not shoot you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But that was
but I mean, they just figured it out. But like in that sequence, the cops they have the guns aimed at the Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man, like, it cuts to a shot that is very obviously like the actor waiting for his cue. And then, and they say action, and then he runs at the camera. So you get like a full 2 or 3 seconds of him just standing there waiting to be told to move, and then he moves, and then the cops shoot him, and it's just like, oh my God.
Well, they just kept so many dumb things in, like not even just like the spider, like all the dumb lines that I feel like were maybe might have been like ad-libbed that they just kept in because they don't make any damn sense.
Right.
Like I wrote down the spider guy is the bad guy. And there's also when inexplicably the woman who has the crying boobs, who is ultimately responsible for the spider guy, but only when she's sleeping, I guess, or sometimes when she's not sleeping. It also felt inconsistent in terms of what she does that, because like it was almost this like Freddy-ish thing where she had to stay awake or else he would be able to murder while she's sleeping.
Right.
But then there was another time where like it didn't happen till she woke up, I thought.
No, well, that's the thing is I think that's like one of the definitely biggest flaws of this too, is that you know she's sleeping, but you don't know she's sleeping because there's no indicators that she went to sleep. It's just like at one point you could clearly tell she's so tired that she probably just passed out, but you don't see her pass out.
Yeah, there was like the one that sticks out in my, well, that and the really stupid line that comes along with it. I was unsure of what was happening is when she went to sleep at the movie theater, and I was like, okay, so she went to the movies, like a midnight showing of some movie with a bunch of perverts. I assume it was like a porno or something, because she had to stay awake.
Right.
But then she promptly falls asleep as soon as she gets there, and then all the weird rapey creeps at the theater like start like they're gonna assault her, but she's just sleeping. And I would be like, hey, theater rapists, like that's not how sleep works. You know what I mean? Like they were like, are you sure she's sleeping? I'm like, she's gonna wait, are you gonna touch her? She's gonna wake up.
Right.
She's not dead. She's not, you didn't drug her, did you? Like what? You guys are ineffective. Yeah.
I almost had the thought that was the like almost mild embodiment of that spider, but like because she's sleeping, so he can pretty much do whatever. So that's kind of like him confirming she's asleep, so he can go kill. I don't know.
Don't try to read too much. No,
I'm definitely creating more plot than exists.
Yeah. But the line of that scene was definitely when she just like wakes up and is like, "What are you guys doing? Fuck off!" And then they all act like they're gonna like they're acting in a very sinister way. Mm-hmm. But then she just gets up and walks away, and the one guy goes, "Hey, you, come back." And it's like their feet are glued to the ground. Yeah. Like, I just didn't, it was such a strange scene.
Even better is after that, another guy says, "C'est la vie." As in, it's like, you rape some, you lose some.
Like,
oh my
really,
God.
Like, were you guys there to rape people?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish.
It was like, it didn't make any sense. They and I feel like those three guys embody Danzig more than anything, because they just saw a chick and they're like, "That's so fucking hot. A chick came into our pervert theater."
Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's see if she wants to make out.
Dude, her boobs are so big. What if we grabbed one?
Yeah, he's just like such a fucking 12-year-old. Like, it's like this weird, like, teen jockey angsty mentality. Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
I feel like
I have a serious question, though. If you like grabbed her boob, could you like possibly poke her eye nipple?
Probably.
I would assume so. Yeah.
I
you gotta
like,
be careful.
I feel like, well, I don't know. I'm now thinking through what could happen because that sounds more interesting than what's actually going on.
Yeah, that would have been way better. Mm-hmm. Like, that would have been way better. Yeah. Then it would have been like a weird anime, but like, instead it was just boring as fuck.
Yeah. He like stooges that shit before that guy left in the beginning. Like,
like there's this. All of these feel like Glenn Danzig has never been laid. Like.
It does.
What do you think nipples look like? Eyes.
Eyeballs.
Well, I do think that, like, I couldn't help but think every time I saw like all of these like Eastern European like porn actresses doing the worst French accents I've ever heard in my life. Like, literally my children could do better French accents. I thought to myself, was this entire thing just a huge, elaborate like ploy for Glenn Danzig to get HJs from porn stars? Like, was that this whole thing?
I'm not
Probably.
I'm not ruling it out at all.
Doesn't it feel like
does.
that? It feels like this big, like he just created this big, weird, awful vanity project just so he could like
finally get laid, like
hang out with Eastern European porn stars.
Because it's not just that he hired a couple porn stars. It's that he hired all porn stars and all dancers or somebody in the adult entertainment. And
yeah, even the dudes, all the dudes you can tell are also from that scene, I feel like.
Probably. There's one that is, there's one that isn't. We'll get to.
Are we pretty much saying that he's a pimp?
Yeah, there was one guy who is the waiter or something.
Okay, that comes up. That dude doesn't,
with the neck tattoo that like popped up above his collar, and he was trying to be like this fancy waiter or something, and he was like, "Stay home. Somewhere out there is the neck breaker." And like the way he's talking, it like at first his like jaw was wired shut almost, and I was like, "Is this a choice?" But then he gave up on that. And then he went in and out of a French accent 4 times in the same sentence. That was honestly maybe the most memorable moment of the movie to me, is that fucking waiter who comes up and is just like, it was his first time on camera. It just reminded me of like when I worked at the comedy club and we would do like open mic, nights or whatever, where people would come up and just do 5 minutes, and it was like amateur night kind of thing. And some people were good, some people were terrible, but inevitably there would be one person that just walked up there and just like bombed incredibly hard, and it was like the cringiest thing you've ever seen. That was him, but in a movie. Right. He made and the shot made the final cut.
I'm gonna do my French character now, and then it just sucks. Yeah,
it was tough.
But I mean, they're all terrible. So he's padded, at least, in the fact that everybody else is fucking awful. Like her next door neighbor she has a scene where like she's going through her fridge and she says milk in beer, but says it in 30 different syllables. It's like, should I have milk or should I have beer? And it's like, Jesus, what the fuck have you ever acted in?
Yeah. Yeah. It literally
I
was
feel like that was actually a pretty good Swedish accent.
Kate caught that. She wasn't even paying attention by this point, but she caught that line and she actually said out loud, what the fuck did she just say? She actually said that out loud during that time. And I was like, I think she said milk or beer because she thought she said something completely different. Yeah. That it stuck. It stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
At this point, we talked about a lot of, my notes up to this point, but I just did land on this that I wrote, and I don't even remember typing this, but the wraparound, because basically we're getting to the end of the first one, which is the fucking spider, but they just fucking shoot him and that's the end of it, pretty much, right? That's it's dumb as hell.
She takes pills to kill herself, but somehow he still has form, and then they shoot him to kill him, and it's just like, ugh. And also, why the fuck? Sorry to cut you off, Brian, because I know you're mental, but like, no. Why the fuck? If her problem was always that men were leaving her, why was the spider's intention to always, like, essentially rape and kill women?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, why wasn't it guys?
Yeah. Why didn't it kill the guys in the theater? Why didn't what the fuck?
That's what I thought was going to happen.
He's just a horny boy.
But why is that her subconscious?
Yeah.
Maybe she's a horny boy.
Well, maybe, but like, what is, or like, did she have some sort of connection to the spider, or the spider was?
Yeah, because
maybe
the spider,
this is what got cut out. Maybe it's the eyeballs on her nipple are actually.
No, this wasn't cut out because it was laid out in the most expository way.
I love how Meg is trying so hard to make this make even a scrap of sense, and it's impossible.
Yeah. The spider.
Steve's like, don't even try.
Well, no, it's nothing that was cut out. It was expository dialogue by the spider. He's holding her by the head, and he's like, "Yes, I am your subconscious. I am here to do the things you cannot do."
What I'm saying is that we didn't understand what was up with the eyeballs, and what I'm saying is that maybe it was some curse down the road that her eyeballs are actually like horny boy.
You want the eyeballs to be a bigger part of the story, and they play almost no purpose.
Badly want them to be part of this.
Go back and read the comic.
Is like when something.
Yeah, you have to have the source material, Meg.
Send it to me.
I don't.
Maybe even worse than like, they're all bad. All three of the stories are bad, but the wraparound was the laziest. It started out, when you got introduced to the wraparound character, which is just like, again, Danzig, like, hot girl saying spooky stuff, and she sticks her fingers in the one girl's eyes. Yeah. I was like, oh, all right, this is going to be fucking wild. No, that was literally the high point of the movie in the first 10 seconds. Yeah. And then the rest of the wraparound part was just so fucking bad. Like, the lines weren't even like corny, campy, funny. They were just so douchey. And she, like, this movie, I think in 10, 20 years from now is going to be really funny. Mm-hmm. But right now, it's just so cringy. Mm-hmm. And I wrote, this is literally what I wrote. I don't even remember typing this. This is just, I was just in a blind rage at this point. I said, the wraparound fucking sucks. An idiot New Jersey meathead with Napoleon complex definitely is responsible. Like, you can tell he's fucking dumb. That's what I wrote. Like, you could just tell from the lines, he's fucking stupid.
And like you're saying, so like usually, like, we would think this character, it would be like some sort of crypt keeper or John Carpenter in Body Bags, and like they would have like a catch line or a phrase or something. But like, she doesn't say anything entertaining or amusing, really.
She says darklings or something like that. Ugh. And I was like, darkling duck? Like, I was like, well, all I could think of was dark. Every time she said darkling, I was like, anyway, that's just my...
She's like Lady Gaga with a head trauma. but like, she doesn't even introduce the next story in an interesting way. She's just like, no. Okay, now here's time for the movie.
Yeah. I wonder if, honestly, he was like, I shot this scene, or I shot these 3 movies, and boy, I'm pretty sure I got all the hand jobs I need. Wait a second. Who's that girl? Maybe I can get a hand job from her. Let's come up. Oh, yeah, she can be the wraparound.
See, I feel
in more ways than one.
I'm pretty sure this actress is Caden Cross, so she would be the most famous of all of these adult performers.
I didn't recognize
her.
her.
She's probably the one that denied him the most.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm just here to do your fucking stupid movie.
She definitely has the Yinzer accent too.
Give me $250 and a sandwich. Fuck off. Yeah.
I can't do Jersey at the moment.
Yeah.
I only have one accent at the moment. But like she was just like, I'm here to do your stupid movie. I'm not here to jerk you off, you little short bitch.
Also, listen, I haven't been to that many strip clubs. Normally not my scene. I have been, but in the instances that I have been at strip clubs, typically there are not like 4 times more strippers than patrons.
Yeah, usually not. No.
Like there were 3 guys in the club and 8 strippers. And again, this is just symptomatic of this is just supporting our theory even further.
I've been to one strip club where it was even. And that is, and it's not a strip club you'd want to go to. So,
right. They're outside handing out flyers.
Yeah,
like
it was bad.
I did very much appreciate that there was a gentleman who was a patron of this strip club who had a cowboy hat on that just said "fuck."
Yeah.
It was like one of those. It was like those big like chalices you get for like bachelorette parties that just says like bitch on it or something, but instead he took that like little sign off and just perched it on the bill of his cowboy hat, and it just said fuck. Like
this is good set dressing. It makes him a character.
That's a joke. You know what I mean? Like if you saw that, and if that was in fucking what's the Santa Claus movie with Bill Goldberg in the strip club?
Santa Sleigh.
Santa's Sleigh. I was going to say Santa Claus, like CLAWS, but that's a different one. Santa's Sleigh. If one of the guys in that strip club just had a cowboy hat that said "fuck" on it, I'd be like, "Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny." Yeah. I think that Glenn Danzig honestly was like, "Oh man, how what's the edgiest hat somebody could wear?" You know what I mean?
He was probably looking for somebody who had a tattoo that said "fuck." Because he thought that would be the most edgy, but he couldn't find that. So he's like, well, we got to put it on somewhere. Let's put it on his hat. And then he announced it. He's a real bad motherfucker because he's got a fuck hat.
That's gonna make some teachers really mad. The detective right after this too. The detective's voice is wild. It's like a Christian Bale. Yeah,
that guy rules. I don't know what this is, but he rules.
Yeah, he's just going. I mean, I get it. They're trying to do like the comic booky, cartoony, you know,
if you
graphic novel, film noir thing. But
if you remember, like Max Payne, the video game, like his voiceover is very close to that.
Yeah,
just like you fucking the scum of the city.
Like, but it's so like they're going that direction, but only in certain small ways. And it's not even nearly stylized enough.
Well, no, because it's poorly written.
Yeah, and there's nothing that communicates that. So it's like you feel bad for the guy because like he obviously got a little bit of direction and was like, all right, I'm going to do this kind of like gruff, grizzled film noir type of cop, but nothing else in the scene supports it. So it just seems like he's off base, but he was probably directed to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
you know?
And that's why I said like the Grizzly comic, because I feel like we already talked about it. It's like poorly written. It's fucking terrible. But like, I feel like it'd be like one of those situations when I'm thinking about how it was like written. You're like, you have Grizzly in here 10 times. Do you want me to say it again? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
do it.
Somebody was
I told you to do it.
Somebody was like, at that moment, brought out their notes in their phone and came up with an idea. It was like, oh, got an Christmas idea for Glenn. And they just typed in thesaurus. Get Glenn a thesaurus.
Still on its
and
way
this
from
was another
Amazon.
note this was another note that I just, again, I don't even remember writing. I can't decide whether he did a worse job of writing or directing. Like, both were equally unbelievably bad. At least at this point in my watching experience.
I feel like it's got to be writing is worse. Because directing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the actors he worked with weren't good. So you weren't going to pull good performances out of, Cheska from Slovenia. Like, you weren't going to get magic out of her. So it's definitely writing, because he did that on his own. Nobody nobody helped him, and so that's all on him.
I wrote that comment, I'm going to guess, about 30 seconds into the second of the third segments. And once I got, especially to the third segment, it was very clear the writing was as inept as any writing could be. If you just gave them a rough outline of what they were supposed to accomplish in that scene and let them just ad-lib it, it probably would have been better.
Yeah, probably. I do like that the cop's first line of dialogue when he's being told somebody, there's another victim having their face removed. Just for the audience, the whole portion of the second film is there's a woman removing faces and then wearing the faces and then going to strip clubs. Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah,
she's a stripper. She's the mystery girl, and she wears kind of a
sexy,
half mask.
She's seductive. She's strange. She hides scars behind her eyes too. Boom. All right.
She wears other people's faces on stage. She kind of has this Scorpion Sub-Zero ass looking thing over her face.
But the cop's first line of dialogue, being told about another victim, is he just goes, "Nice."
No, I thought you were also going to add is that he's like, there's your motive. They want her face.
Oh, yeah. I was
like,
that's
wow,
the end of the same dialogue block. He's like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
They wanted a face.
And then I like at one point, it's like they had killed, I think they said 13 people. And then they're like, that's when they figured out it was a pattern.
Right.
It took 13 murders.
Up to that point, why are all these faces missing? Yeah. Oh, number 11, number 12. Ah, nice. She wanted a face. I get it.
Oh, it's a face thing.
It's a face thing.
These are really good cops, guys.
I like when the mystery, when the villain goes to again take off another nameless woman's face, and she goes, "Now I'm gonna take your face," and the woman goes, "My face? No." Oh. My face?
My face?
No.
So the best acting comes in this story though, and the best acting is when you're in the strip club with the strippers, because they look completely disinterested, and that's real. Strippers are disinterested while they're at strip club.
Generally speaking, that was the only part that felt even remotely real.
They don't want to be in this movie. They don't want to be at strip clubs. They don't want to be around the men they're around.
They don't want to give hand jobs to Danzig.
So that's about the realist. That's the realist you get. The mystery woman is hilarious though, because
her dancing is awesome.
Her dancing is essentially flailing a cape like she's having a tantrum. I
said she looks like that TikTok video of all the digigoths under the bridge doing that sweet dance.
It warms my heart how much you're referencing TikTok videos these days.
Yeah. Actually, I think that was a YouTube video from 12 years ago.
Oh, where they're just
it's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic one.
Yeah, and they put it to Christmas music and shit. Yeah. Anywho,
but she, I don't understand why they keep hiring her, because she loses customers. And she doesn't dance for that long. She dances for half a song, loses customers, and then marches out like Macho Man Randy Savage, holding her cape wide open.
She scares the shit out of them.
She's seductive. That mystery is just so seductive, Steve. Stop asking questions.
There was a guy up there. Yeah, there was a guy up there that's just throwing bunches of money and just big wads of money. She goes upstairs in the eye, he leaves. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, mystery girl, you did it again. Scared off another paying customer.
The club owner is like, yeah, she's so strange, she costs me money. She makes customers leave because she's weird.
Mystery girl. I'll never figure you out. You're a mystery, but God, I love you. I'd fire you if you didn't make such good shrimp scampi for the buffet. Did you notice when she was actually cutting off one of the faces, the shot, like the image, started doing this weird like flexing, like bending thing? Was that just me, or did you notice that?
No, that's not just you. That is applying the warp stabilizer to your camera because somebody jostled the camera while they were filming. So
Jesus! I knew it had to be something fucking terrible like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Danzig bumped into the cameraman while he was shooting and was like, what the fuck, dude? Pushed him.
Let me see what you're shooting. He's like,
let me see.
That's fucking hilarious.
Watch where you're going, bro. Shoved the cameraman while he was shooting.
Get the fuck out of the way. I'm trying to see this. Fucking boobs are big.
If you get in front of my fucking big boobs, if this is time for me to look at big boobs, if you interfere with my big boob looking time one more time, I'm gonna be eating zero out of the bottom of your fucking skull.
This is the hottest fucking moment. She's cutting her face off, but her boobs are still big. What the fuck are you doing in my way, stupid?
Actually, it was his boner that hit the camera, guys.
What are you even doing with a camera in here? Glenn, we're shooting your movie. What movie?
What movie?
The movie that you're using to get free hand jobs. Oh, shit. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, don't keep that on the DL.
Mum's the word.
I'm just going to assume, I don't know if you heard me, I think he just had a boner and it hit the camera.
That's also possible.
There is 0% chance Glenn Danzig's boner is doing any type of jostling of anything. There was also a quote apparently at some point. I don't even remember who says it, but I wrote down, "You stupid jerk."
Yeah.
Quote, "You stupid jerk."
I think it was with the strippers. Like when the cop busts into the strip club and goes backstage.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure one of the strippers calls him a stupid jerk. But there's also one of my other favorite lines from this, which is the stripper she goes, "You're all bark when all you want is some free sex," because that's the saying.
I bet you just want to come in here and do free sex on us.
It's like, yeah, that classic Teddy Roosevelt quote, "You're all bark when all you want is some free sex."
I talk sadly, but carry a big bark. I like how then they said it jumps to 6 months later.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Oh, yeah. She's just dancing again with gunshot wounds. Poorly applied. So there was a cameo in this story, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, and I feel like you didn't because you would have brought it up. There was an adult performer when the cop confronts the bouncer. Do you guys know who the bouncer was?
Cop, the bouncer. I'm trying to remember the bouncer. Oh, there's an yeah.
So
hold on.
So he's an adult performer. He was in the film One Night in China. That would be.
It's not X-Pac.
It is X-Pac. That is.
Oh, god damn it! It was X-Pac.
That is X-Pac. The 1, 2, 3 kid. The bouncer.
The fucking 1, 2, 3 kid. Jesus Christ! Hold on. I gotta look look this up.
Sean Waltman.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I mean,
bouncer.
Obviously not the worst performance because he has some acting skills.
I am trying to look this up where I need to see a picture of this. I'm just derailing everything because I need to see a picture of this. What the fuck? How did I miss that? I mean, I know he doesn't look anything like he used to when he wrestles now because I have seen pictures of him. Ah, fuck, I can't find it. And listen, I'm not going back and starting this movie again, but I do like the idea of the baby-faced, mid-90s 1, 2, 3 kid in a Glenn Danzig fucking pseudo porno film.
Yeah.
Do you think they're buds? Like, it feels like they would be buds.
I hope not. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, but like I feel like Danzig doesn't watch wrestling. Because if Danzig watched wrestling, he would be way more involved.
You know what, though? Here's what I bet happened. He was like, I need a badass bouncer from my movie.
Yeah.
who's more badass than wrestlers? Because he thinks it's real. He goes like, who beats people's ass all the time? And they're like,
He's just calling
wrestlers.
him X-Pac like the entire time too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he thinks it's his. Yeah. He called him X-Pac the whole time, or he called him 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Or he called him 6 because he was a WCW guy.
Oh,
X-Pac,
no, I
act
can't
better.
do better acting. Just sitting there eating Gabaghoul.
Yeah. That's gonna be the funniest image. Is just Danzig.
He's just sticking a wad of salami in his mouth. Hey, X-Pac, do better acting.
Because he also like he isn't dressed like a director. Like he isn't wearing a suit to set like Sam Raimi. He isn't he isn't just dressed.
No, he's wearing a mesh tank
Yeah,
top.
exactly. He's got a mesh tank top and leather pants, and he's sitting in the chair putting cold cuts in his face.
The proper term is called fishnet.
I was going to say
fishnet tank top.
Yeah, fishnet tank top, eating tapenade with his fingers like a fucking animal.
Jamming fucking cold cuts in his face. He's like, act better. Do
better acting.
Yeah.
Bring the mortadella. Hey, who got the mortadella?
got the
Bring the
mortadella?
mortadella over here.
Who got the Gabaghoul?
Somebody bring over the fucking Gabaghoul. I'm starving over here.
I'm fucking starving. Hey, that chick's face. It looks like Gabaghoul.
He just turns into like this old Italian uncle now.
Do better acting. Jiggle your boobs more.
Hey, I don't think she can hear me. Tell her to jiggle her boobs. I don't think she can hear me.
Did she get that note? I got a note. The note is her boobs should be bigger.
Glenn, we're shooting. We're shooting right now. Shh. Shooting what? Like he keeps forgetting he's making a movie.
Roll the film. There's no film in this camera.
Well, can we do an instant replay? Can we get that on a monitor? I got to see the instant replay on that.
Everybody leave. I gotta watch that back by myself.
Everybody leave.
Hey, you got some fucking attitude on you.
I can't believe what you say to me. It's a fucking attitude.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
This is all devolved because we just don't want to talk about the last fucking part of this thing.
You got some fucking attitude over there. I can't believe what you say to me.
We just like cut it there. We just need to cut it there.
Hey, I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Goddamn Danzig.
Fucking God.
Yeah.
Dude,
so we're into the third
that was
story.
Good. I think that's the type of shit you gotta do live.
Yeah.
Yep.
The third, it's just us like doing a terrible like Italian New Jersey uncle and assuming it's like just pretending it's Glenn Danzig. The last story is there's almost nothing to talk about because you pretty much explained it already. It's just this woman. She's gonna stay young by bathing in the blood of virgins.
Yeah,
that's about it.
And it's so funny because like they have this giant like Gothic tub that they built. And like it was so important that they had to credit the guy who built the tub at the opening of the film.
And I've seen better set pieces in people's home haunts.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It looked okay, but you could tell they just spray painted the whole thing gold. Like I have no doubt they put a lot of work into it.
Right.
But I've seen better stuff when I worked at All Hallow Weekends at Cedar Point. We had better set pieces.
It kind of is like, when you see the Pinterest like image of something and then you have the Pinterest fail. That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, that's it is. And it was funny because I almost forgot about this. The woman who plays the like who I don't even remember what the character is that she plays, but she's the fucking what do they keep calling her? Not a countess.
Yeah,
Countess. Is that what they're calling her?
Contessa.
Contessa, there you go.
Contessa, that's right. They keep barefoot Contessa herself. They keep saying she keeps saying Virgin instead of Virgin.
I also just want to say that I love her fucking crown. That's the only thing I like about her.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want that for like something.
Yeah.
I will wear it somewhere.
Like this one just was like I really thought he thought this was going to be like this like really disturbing dark erotic part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole first like 90 seconds is just the beginning of this nerd ass porno that never gets off the ground. Like they're all just dressed like knights and shit, and they're saying sexy stuff, but nothing ever happens. Like everyone involved in that's like the writing of that scene definitely has a butt plug that has a Pikachu tail on it. Like it's just a bunch of fucking nerd ass idiots fucking trying to do a porno that never lands in any way, shape, or form. Just bathing in blood, wiping blood on her face. Like we get it, you know. You're gonna do the face thing again. You're gonna wipe blood on your face.
And it just like that whole scene just lingers so long. And this is where Meg, you pointed out, like the camera zooming in and out. Like that happens so much. They just think, okay, well, we're not gonna move the camera in any way. We're just gonna zoom in. Well, we need to pad out time, so zoom out. Well, zoom back in.
Well, and then also like this weird like minimalist soundtrack, or sometimes just like no backing track at all, really highlights the insanely bad like audio quality and sound design in general. Like there's just, I don't know if I can think of a movie that this, besides something like Suburban Sasquatch, where it's like the sound design, the camera, like the lighting, every single part of it is almost as bad as it can be.
And this is like, it happens twice in this section, but somebody bumps the camera again. And
it is Danzig's boner.
Right.
We're talking about this.
And the one that is very clear that like they only could get this one take is like it's when she's getting into the tub and somebody bumps the camera as she's getting in the tub, and like you can't call cut. Because, like, she's already got blood on her, so they couldn't undo that, I guess. They already had an actress, like, in the tub, probably cold for a half hour while they set up this dumb shot. And they're like, well, I guess we just got to leave it in. And Danzig is, like, fucking bumping into the camera. That's why I think it was him who did it, because he wouldn't notice, and he wouldn't call cut on himself. He was just like, somebody will fix that up in post.
But he doesn't understand what that means at all.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. They keep doing this scene again several times. It just loses any amount of effectiveness it would have had, which it didn't, is lost because they do it over and over again, where they're just like cutting the throats of virgins and like bathing in the blood.
Virgins.
Remember, pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, excuse me, virgins. And like the one, they execute the effect okay, I guess, compared to the other one where they have the PSI turned up way too fucking high and it just sprays out at like 35 PSI.
That shit cracked me up. It literally looked like the vomit. Like they only could afford like borrowing someone's like vomit machine that would usually be in your hand. That's what they put on her. Yeah. But that's what they put in her throat.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. They just had the PSI turned up, and it's like, oh, holy shit, you see the blood come out of that chick's neck?
Holy shit, she said upside down. Somebody squeeze her boobs. Yeah. It was seriously like this whole scene feels like it was shot at Phantom Fright Nights.
Yeah, it is just so terrible.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Oh, it was Eric from the Cinema 9 podcast, Steve, that said he was at the premiere in Chicago, and that specifically, like, or I don't know if he was talking around this scene specifically, but he said that Danzig was there and told the audience he was surprised that folks were laughing.
What are you laughing at? This movie's fucking hot.
What are you laughing at? Is it not horny enough for you?
Did you see all them boobs? What are you laughing at boobs for? What are you, stupid?
What are you, a bunch of fucking queers? You're not horny for boobs? You don't like boobs and blood? What are you here for?
Jesus.
I like how he turned him into Gary Marshall a little bit.
Yeah, it's just the dumbest. Just find the dumbest
It's me,
voice.
Glenn Danzig.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Glenn Danzig. I'm here to sing some songs for you. You remember Mother?
Hey, you guys, We Are 138. You remember that one? Hey, everybody, sing it if you know it.
You know, under her black wings, it's like that time where the succubus comes down and you get under her black wings. She shields you from the world in the darkness and you see her big boobs.
The only thing I love darkness. You know, you guys know me. I like darkness. But the only thing, and guys, it's kind of a problem for me in darkness. You can't see boobs in darkness. That's my only complaint about darkness.
It's my only
It
complaint.
makes it hard to see boobs.
You can still grab boobs, and that's great.
Well, sometimes you can't even grab boobs. I don't even know where they're at.
But how do you grab them if you can't see them to find them?
It's just he's by himself in a room eating salami, saying all this.
I think we need more movies that have this type of stuff going on.
Well,
where you guys
hopefully
just
he'll
create-
get his werewolf movie off the fucking launch pad,
About that,
and we can all rewatch
Would it be
that
the
and-
same wolf that's in this last segment or last because that's
have
what
no
I kind
idea.
of presume. He'd be like, "Get the wolf."
Hey,
Yeah.
remember that
Hey.
dog we had? Is he still available?
He thinks it's like an original idea too.
Yeah. Who's the wolf guy? Is Joey Wolves? Go get Joey Wolves. Have him bring his wolf back here.
You see, it's interconnected because that wolf that was in the thing with the lady with the boobs is now in the werewolf movie with the werewolf with the boobs. It connects it. It's like a cinematic universe.
Oh my
Can
god!
we
Please, no one tell him about Sasquatch and the big boobs.
Oh yeah.
Don't ever let him see suburban Sasquatch.
Oh, it's
Forest
so
brides, their
horny.
boobs are huge.
I like. I forgot this part. Did you guys mention, or did you guys notice when the girl's hanging upside down after she supposedly is dead because they already drained her blood and for like 90 seconds, and then some of the remaining blood,
Yep.
like runs out of her neck wound into her mouth, and she kind of starts choking and
Yeah, I
panics.
noticed that. Yeah.
And they just keep it in the
They just
movie.
keep it in.
Yep.
That was great.
There-
Then a wolf comes again. I don't know why.
Yeah, where
I
did they
stopped
get a
paying-
wolf? Why, like, how could he afford it?
stopped
Why
paying
was
attention.
why would the actress be okay with like working and feeding it raw meat like that?
Yeah, I have
It
a
was
feeling
weird.
that was like
Because Danzig was
Yeah.
scarier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. They shot this in like a warehouse in Budapest or something, and like I genuinely think this was just like if one musician has a buddy that has a wolf pet, like a pet wolf, it would be Glenn Danzig.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Completely believable. Yeah.
So like he probably is like, we need a wolf, and they're like, we're not gonna have a wolf. It's not safe to have a big ass wolf in here. And he was like, hold on, I'll call Joey. Joey's got a wolf. I know he does. It's at his mom's house. We just gotta go pick him up.
He's good.
Yeah.
There is so like this whole thing is just like cobbled together scenes. There's no story. Like there really isn't, which is why we're not talking about one. But there's one scene where you just start with a woman running through the woods and she's being chased by two guards.
Yep.
And like this is probably the funniest thing to me in this part is the two guards are running and they stop and they go, "Stupid bitch." And then and there is no way they were able to time this or whatever, but the camera loses focus immediately after that. Like it, just for no reason, the camera just loses focus, and then the actor says, "She's going this way," and it's like it's such a weird coincidence that like all of that technical bullshit, and it's just like, why is that?
I think here's my theory, Glenn. That wasn't even supposed to be. Like, that line wasn't supposed to be in the movie. That was just Danzig yelling at one of the girls who wouldn't give him a hand job on the set while they were shooting, and then they had to like ad lib and
That's just
shoot another little
ADR?
thing to make it. Yeah, it's ADR.
I
Yeah.
honestly thought you were gonna say that maybe in that scene, that's when like Danzig's like, step over. I need to fucking man the camera now. Like he's just trying to take everything, so everything terrible is all of his fault.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah.
standing there butt naked with like like covered in fake blood, and he's like, "All right, give me the camera."
Do you think he has a tramp stamp that says like, give me a hand job? So like if he's like naked, and so it's like anyone walking by, it's just like free advertisement or something.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Danzig has like a sleeveless shirt that has the man with an arrow pointed up to him and then the legend pointed down to his crotch. Like,
Oh my God,
I
yes.
imagine he just wears that as like normal Whole Food shopping wear.
He just
That's what I'm
ripped the
saying in Fuck,
sleeves
Marry,
off.
Kill.
Yeah.
There's probably something going on there, you know, like maybe. He might be a little
I don't
rapey.
think
He's
I don't think
definitely
he has like a
rapey,
big
though.
dick or anything. I just think he likes pointing at it and grabbing it and thinking about sex all the time. It's like that's all he does.
Yeah. He's basically a 15-year-old, fucking jock from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I just put, they had to get one more scene out of that bath, set piece.
Did you guys catch the line? Like, this is probably, we're obviously almost at the end, but did you catch the line when she was like, let me suckle her sweet juice? She called, I was
Yeah.
like, this is so
Yeah.
creepy and weird.
Ugh.
Yeah, that reminded me of the episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force with like the onion spider guy in the
Juice!
Juice. I read a headline after the fact here that said, I think it was Bloody Disgusting. I don't know. One of these sites said, "Is Verotika the room of horror?"
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. It 100% is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only want to say that this is worse than The Room, simply because like Danzig is there is definitely something menacing in the background of this with like with Danzig just being like such a weird pervert.
Yeah.
Like The Room is Tommy Wiseau thinking he's making a masterpiece and just being so bizarrely weird and silly brained that he makes
that's
like,
a technical term for
He's got whacked out poo brains. I
again
think
I wasn't a doctor, so silly brained is how I go with it. But
yeah,
like
you're close. It's whacked out poo brains, but yeah, you're close.
Yeah, like Tommy Wiseau is so just wildly silly brained that he just like, and again, read the book that was written by Greg Sestero. It's a fantastic read, and it just like gets you more into like who Tommy is. But like, you want to learn more about Tommy and you kind of want to be his friend. You want to hang around him. The more you watch this movie, the less you want to be around Danzig.
No. And I already didn't want to be around Danzig.
Right.
Now, like, I don't even want to be in the same state as Danzig. Yeah. This brought up a fun game that I was kind of playing with myself that night. That came out weird.
interesting phrasing.
No, that came out strange. No, but this was a little bit of a game, a mental exercise, let's say, that I could think to myself, what kind of like what would you do for a Klondike bar, but what would you do to not have to watch this movie again? Like, what is the most extreme thing that you would do rather than watch this movie again? I put down that I would obtain moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. I would take on the burden of moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.
I already have some sort of form of IBS, so that's not on the
What about would you be in a car accident, like a fender bender?
Yeah.
Like not your car.
Oh,
but
yeah,
like,
sure.
Yeah.
If I don't have to pay for anything,
Yeah.
I'll
I
go
would
10
even
miles into
pay.
a tree.
I would even pay.
Yeah, I'll go 10 miles per hour into a tree. Yeah, fuck yeah. I've always wanted.
I'm saying that I would actually pay. It would be my car. That's fine.
Oh yeah, I can't do that because then it just becomes like a matter of cost. Like, like if I get free reign, like if you said, would you rather be in a demolition derby at a county fair? Like, I'd rather do that than watch this movie again.
Yeah. Would you like take a full on poke in the eye? Like someone give you like just poke you right in one of your eyes.
For me, it depends on the nail size. So I'm gonna say probably.
There's no permanent damage to your vision.
But I'm just like sad for a little while.
Yeah. Just like a full-on Ric Flair or Roddy Piper thumb right in the eye. Yeah, I'll do that.
I might, you know what? I'm going to go a little extreme. I might even let someone like nick a little bit off my ear and then to like not watch again.
That's a lot, but
take a chunk out of your ear.
Yeah.
Would you like take
chunk
the
is
tip
too
of your
much.
finger off?
No.
Nah.
I need those. I don't really need my tops on my ears. You know what I mean? That'll heal.
Would you let someone just stand point blank range and just chuck a basketball off of you?
Not in the face.
Stand 4 feet. Not in the face.
Not in the face. Yeah.
But it could be back of the head.
Even still, back of the head.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I set the bar high for myself now. So yeah.
Yeah, you went right into disfigurement. Yeah.
See, like the way I'm weighting this, Brian, is like this movie's an hour and a half. So I'm waiting how long does the pain last? Like a basketball to the back of the head is got to be under a half hour. But if it was in the face, that might break my nose, and that's a whole ordeal for the day.
Yeah.
So like that's
what
why.
If you tweaked your ankle, like not full on sprained it, but like it hurt for a couple days.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna always go to my default that I would watch this movie again, but only if I was on drugs.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably have a lot of fun with it with a group of people taking shrooms.
Okay.
Could be. Yeah, this movie, definitely your mind needs to be altered in a pretty serious way.
I feel like even the last part is just so fucking boring.
It really was so... That's the thing. And I wrote this in the notes. It's like, this is so fucking bad. But if it was like quick and paced okay, I would have been like, okay, this was kind of an interesting watch just because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking boring too.
It's a half hour of a porno that never fucking starts.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't think of a worse movie.
Yeah.
Like honestly, this is not hyperbole. This might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. And
realistically.
And the biggest failing is the fact that like there's no fucking story to any of it.
Yeah.
Like at least like Suburban Sasquatch has a story, even as sloppily and goofily as it's told. Yeah. You know, they have a vision, and like every other terrible film we've watched on this so far, they have stories. They're trying to get somewhere. They have an A to B. There's some sort of competence. There's no competence to this at all.
Yeah.
It's just one fucking buffoon not being told no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Is an absolute like an egomaniac fucking shithead that just no one ever said no to.
Yeah. And
is he an only child?
Might be. He might be. I don't know that he's not.
Well, this reminds me of like, did you guys watch Corey Taylor's movie that came out last year?
No.
I forget what it was called. It was
was it a documentary?
Shit. No, it was a horror movie. That he, I don't know if he wrote it or directed it, but he was like heavily involved.
Bad Candy?
Bad Candy, yes.
Was it?
Okay.
No, it was Bad Candy.
Okay.
It was Bad Candy.
Okay.
Well, there's and he stars in a different one called Rucker.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
no, Bad Candy was it. And I think
It's on Tubi.
I don't know if he was involved with it, but he was definitely he felt like he was involved with it in some capacity. Like it was bad. It was not a good movie. But like it was competent enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he's just the actor in Bad Candy.
His
I thought he had something
Chili
to do
Billy
with,
in it. That's funny.
Yeah, he plays like a shock jock kind of wraparound kind of part of it or whatever. But it's like I've seen so many of those kind of like almost, and I thought he was more involved with the making, so I might be totally off base.
I mean, he
but
might be
even
on there as like an executive producer, like everyone is.
Yeah.
You know?
But like any of these like musicians turned into horror kind of situate, they try to make a horror movie. They're almost all terrible. Like there's some like vanity involved with it, but like there's some redeeming quality. This is genuinely not only the worst of that ilk, but I really am struggling to fine. Besides, like that, maybe that. Oh, there's probably some Uwe Boll movies or something. Like this is
No,
right
not even
there with it.
Even his films, like as cynical and like lazily made they are, they're just not worse than this. I did figure out the fuck, marry, kill though.
Okay.
When Brian, you were talking about other vanity projects like this, the other most recent one that I could think of was Fred Durst's movie, The Fanatic.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
With fucking what's his name in it?
Devon Sawa.
Yeah.
That it's bad, but it's nowhere near like this level or Cradle of Fear. But it has a lot of vanity in it. There's like Limp Bizkit in the soundtrack. So
yeah.
but that's your fuck, marry, kill, Meg, is like which of these auteurs, Danny Filth, Fred Durst.
No question, marry Fred Durst. Kill.
Well,
Wow,
and that's also got John. That's the one with John Travolta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit!
Oh.
Yeah, I just made the connection that was the Fred Durst movie.
Yeah.
I just
remember
watched that
that.
like 2 weeks ago. That movie
Was it good?
fucking sucks. No, it's horrible.
It's
Okay.
terrible, but
I mean,
it's better than
I
this.
mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it has parts that are worth.
Okay, so we're doing. I think at this point, oh man, I'll kill Danzig. Actually, yeah, and I'll just fuck what Danny Filth.
Yeah.
You're
There you
gonna
go.
fuck. Yeah. Listen, we're all gonna fuck Danny Felth. I get it.
Because it would probably be kinky, you know? It would be fun.
Right.
You could you imagine living with Glenn Danzig?
No.
That's what I'm saying. You
I mean, if
gotta
your
kill
indicator
Glenn
right
Danzig.
now of like your interaction, I mean, I could probably handle that, you know?
Yeah, I would
laugh.
kill. Well, it depends if if he's got his fucking Gabaghoul guy.
I can't have somebody eating all my cold cuts. It's fucked up.
What about this? A movie directed by Glenn Danzig, starring Glenn Danzig, written by Glenn Danzig, called Gabaghoul, but ghoul is Ghoul.
Can we get a shirt made called says Gabaghoul?
The Gabaghoul.
And the Danzig,
The Gabaghoul.
like
It's a
dash
picture of
Danzig
with
underneath.
the full devil lock.
Oh
And
my
he's just sitting
god,
there. He's got just like grease stains all over his shirt.
Oh my
Dude.
The
god.
Gabaghoul.
The
Dude.
full Gabaghoul. Beware, the Gabaghoul's coming to get your fridge. And he's gonna raid your fridge. I'm the Gabaghoul. That's me.
surprise!
Gabaghoul.
I'm the
It's
Gabaghoul.
me, Glenn.
It's me, Glenn, the Gabaghoul Danzig.
Would you fucking believe this prosciutto was $14.99 a pound? That's insane. This is dog food. $14.99 a pound.
Pimento loaf. Hey, what are you showing me here?
What
I don't
the
want that.
fuck?
You guys
What
got to do that fuck, marry, kill though in the stories. We gotta get everyone else's input on it.
Yes, fuck, marry, kill. Once again, let's review. Glenn Danzig, Fred Durst,
Send us in.
Danny Filth.
Yeah.
He's the wild card there. Oh, do we have any final thoughts on this? Like I said, I've made my peace. I genuinely think this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Not want to say the worst movie, the least enjoyable. I don't even know how to describe just it just was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely, you go watch fucking Microwave Massacre or something. Like there are really, really bad movies out there, but they're more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
This was horrible, completely inept, terribly made, and also almost completely unwatchable, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
There's charm to a lot of the other bad movies that are made.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
charming about this. It is
Not
just,
even remotely.
It is just
That's
obviously
a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's just obviously one dude trying to see big boobs.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Steve,
yeah.
Yeah.
you didn't hurt me.
I got Brian good enough though. So
Oh my God. My
Yeah,
God.
you
this
made
is
up
rough.
for both of us. I was like,
That was rough. That one really stuck in my craw. Now I'm on a fucking mission. I don't even think like 964 Pinocchio is is too good for you.
yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb next time. Just so. Oh, have you seen? What's it called? Oh, I have one. One that's
there's-
really fucking
I think there's
unbelievably
one,
bad.
Yeah, I think there's like one more, and they might have just did it for riff tracks or something. Yeah, there's one more out there that I think is worse that I haven't brought up. So But it's in my back pocket, but maybe Brian knows. But yeah, this one was definitely like really low on my list of things to inflict.
Have you seen Flesh Blanket?
Oh, no.
Okay. That's pretty fucking unbelievably bad.
Okay.
It's pretty unbelievably bad. That's a to be watch. That was the one I was just thinking of there. Yeah, I've got a couple, but even Flesh Blanket, that might be too good for you. You deserve worse. All right. Any final thoughts on this piece of shit?
No.
No, I'm happy with what I've done. And
You're happy with yourself?
I'm pretty
look
pleased.
Yourself in the mirror?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I and again, if I win in June, we'll do something better. I have I have some fun.
When you say better, you mean worse?
No. There's only one thing worse than that, and like I'll save that for a time after I go. If I don't win a bunch in a row,
Wow.
That's a nuclear option.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have one sitting in my back pocket that's awful.
Mhm.
But next month, after I retain my championship with Monsters of the Deep, hey, I'll.
I mean, that's saying it wins.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna win all out. I'm gonna win the poll. I'm gonna win the episode.
I like you're manifesting for yourself. I see
Flawless
this here.
victory.
Yeah. And then we'll
Chaos
watch
magic.
something fun. Maybe maybe we'll watch like Death Race 2050.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, remember, take a look on the social medias here in the coming days. Usually we post it in like a Wednesday, like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type situation. I can't stop doing that voice now. Big Top Horror, Child's Play / Chucky, and Monsters from the Deep. You get to pick which of those returning previously failed topics get to rise from the ashes for our 1-year anniversary show, you guys. I can't fucking believe it. It's coming up on us here. We also have some other exciting news coming up here.
We should probably do a save the date. We should probably at least do a save the date if anyone wants to come.
Yeah, we're talking about doing a little live performance of the show in the greater Pittsburgh area here, and with more details to come. But what's that date again, Meg?
June 25th.
We're talking about doing
My
June
darklings.
the 25th in the greater Pittsburgh area. So if you live in the western Pennsylvania area, or you live anywhere in the world and you decide to fly in for this monumentous occasion, we're going to be doing a live show in Pittsburgh, which we will give you some more details on as they come. We're also talking about doing some fun kind of collaboration beers, all types of fun stuff going as we spiral towards the intro to spooky season, guys. It's going to be a big fucking spooky season for us this year. Again, follow us on the social medias so you can kind of keep up to date on all that stuff, and just listen to the old damn podcast because we talk about that as well in there. Anyway, guys, for the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
I'm Megan.
I'm the Gabaghoul.
Fuck you. Bye.